can sense no anger from him, no rage, no fear. He is empty, present, clear.
Happy.
I'm not searching for happiness. I'm searching for peace. If there's happiness, there is sadness. If something can rise, something must fall. If you can attain something, there's something to lose. That's why it's difficult. That's why I stopped a moment. I don't know what type of happiness you mean. Being satisfied with where I'm standing, yes. Does it mean that I don't have hard moments? I have hard moments. And that's why for me, like, what is it I ultimately look for? I would call it's just peace.
Back in nature. So I'll give a little update. Not really going to talk much about myself. I want to touch more upon cope or rope. A little saying I came up with, a little phraseology per se, came up with around last year when I was rotting in a room and was numbing my mind with a particular green substance that, is leafy and looks like the plumage of a tree. Okay? I was doing that quite a bit, to the point where, really I couldn't function without it. I didn't have any hobbies. I wasn't doing anything with my time. I didn't have a vehicle, still don't. But I could have biked places. I could have been walking more. I just got in a real funk, a real slough. And this happens, and it's been happening more frequently in my life because things have been changing, right? I'm a man of routine. And when that routine gets, fucked up, quite frankly, every few months, it's really hard to establish your thought processes. It's really hard to solidify a routine. Some people, they're really quick with it, right? Things change and they just settle right into a new location, new people, new scenery, a new routine in terms of time, right? Your timing's a bit off on things. You got to get acclimated. Some people are really good with that. For me, it takes about a couple weeks to a month, depending on how severe the yanking from my routine was. But we've established ourselves now, and I know, just from the last year alone, that this will not last. It's but a reprieve. 3 months being out in the brush, and I'm thankful that it wasn't raining much this summer. Out where I was, it was beautiful, more days than not, and I was able to to thrive, being as I got the old EBT, the old SNAP. But now it's gone, pretty much. I'm not getting much, if anything, now. So I'm going to kind of focus on the good. And I think that's really lacking online and in the day-to-day. How can you, in this community, or just someone who's awake to the reality of things, how can you know that things are continually going to degress, whether it be societally, whether it be people's outlook on men, whether it be your ability to ascend, whether it be things you can't change? How are you going to be so intimately aware of these things and be unable to accept? You're going to have to come right on back full circle to when I started this channel and I'm preaching acceptance. There's nothing else to do, man. You ain't getting no woman, and if you are getting a woman, she ain't gonna be one worth having. You as a man are not designed. It's not in your nature. It's completely fucking unnatural. Okay, and this is where philosophy gets you into a real pickle. You've got certain inclinations and predispositions as a man. Okay, someone with testosterone, with XY chromosomes. My bad, not that. But someone who's being told in this particular time to just put all that aside, and you don't have a choice. You're going to have to find a way to repress these things. Oh, it's unhealthy. You're gonna have to find a way to be less reactive and less emotional. You're gonna have to find a way to be okay with not having any type of future. Or you're gonna rope. I'm being serious with you. What else is there, dude? I mean, I'm so tired of this. It's delusion. It's copium. To sit online and continually fill your noodle, that wet little thing in between your ears, with information that you can't use, you can't do dick with. Okay? You might as well find some video game where you can live out a life, because you ain't doing it here, man. You ain't doing it here. And if you are gonna do it here, it's gonna be very minimal. The only thing I can think of to get ahead is to get a piece of property, some acreage. But the problem with that, there's no consistent work. I found myself literally job hopping for like the last 5 years. Ever since really I got serious into the work market. Even when I was a carpenter, I'm having to go all over the country to find work. Companies last, maybe a year or two because they're unwilling to give you a raise. But you get more responsibility, you get more, you've acquired more skills. You're just a more well-rounded worker overall, and you're not getting compensated or benefited. I mean, it's the same thing in corporate America. And yet you think you're going to establish yourself somehow. You're going to get established, whatever. How? You got to go where the work is, bucko. If I hadn't got on my bike and traveled to another state, quite literally, the doors of opportunity would not have opened up to me, because as much as people want to say this, it's not true. If you live in the same area, even if it's prone to commerce, a lot of people coming in and out, those people are coming in, they're going out, they're not staying. So unless you're out there, you're rubbing shoulders with these people, which isn't going to do anything anyways. People don't care. They're insular. They live in their own bubble, their own world. You're not popular on social media, right? They can't easily probe your life and say yay or nay, right? They don't want to get to know you. Forget it. So that goes out the window. But let's say you're in a place that's bubbling and bumping with commerce, and there's always people there. Again, you still got the same cast of people that are there regularly, and there'll be something known about you, and that's going to put a kibosh to any opportunities in the future. So what you have to do in this day and age is quite literally reinvent yourself everywhere you go, and hope an opportunity comes your way. Hopefully I can get a vehicle. I don't got to be doing this on a bike, because that's ridiculous. That's just not gonna pan out very well. But yeah, traveling for work, and you are gonna be doing hard work. Oh yeah, you're gonna be learning new skills continually. You're gonna be having to refine your resume, okay? And you're gonna have to do a lot of shit work and lie and stretch how many years you've been doing it to hopefully get another opportunity. Morals, integrity. Yeah, no, these things are great. Sparingly. As soon as you get a whiff that you're going to get taken advantage of for being a certain way, or doing or behaving a certain way, you're going to have to put an end to that. And you're going to have to kind of, drift throughout life. Just kind of moseying your way on, because there's no ability to really ground yourself anywhere. There's no family that's going to take you in. There's no company that's going to, acknowledge all you've done for them. There's nothing. There's no group of guys that you're going to cozy up with in real life that's going to, have this ability to pool their resources and, pool their skills, and it's going to be equitable, and you're going to get a house somewhere. I mean, unless that was established in high school from those early on years, good luck, dude. There ain't no building trust in the long term. It sounds real bleak, doesn't it? But a lot of you, and what I'm believing is a lot of you may have not been around people. You've been isolated. But what have you done with that isolation? Have you just continued to dwell and ruminate all, unhealthy things that are going to stunt your development of mind? Or have you reflected? and really soaked in the nature of your reality and accepted it. It's what it's gonna take, man, because there is a way out of this. It's unsavory. I don't want to do it. No siree be. No siree. But I'd be a liar if I said those thoughts don't come to my mind from time to time, especially with how unfulfilling life is. So the reason a lot of my videos are made outside. I spend a lot of time outside. I spend a lot of time active, doing things, moving, getting my mind away from problems, trying to find the good around me, right? Not the good in society, not the good in people that I have to rub shoulders with, though that's helpful. No, but the good, right? The seasons are changing. It's kind of nice outside. I'm still able and capable of doing things with my time. I've got more time on my hands. What am I going to do with it? Things like this. Because I, like yourself, have no ability to change my circumstances. I have no control. Imagine that, dude. You spat out of your mom's womb, okay, out of her filth. And this is where you're at, right? You get trained up to be this obedient little toad. You find out that you're getting taken advantage, quite honestly. You're not getting anything out of it. And then you rebel a bit, and now you're the bad guy. So what are you going to do? You got no control. None. So you're going to have to accept. And I know it sucks. Oh, yeah, well, again, go out there and rage out. See what happens then, man. Man has been thrust to the lowest stations of society, of existence, really. Of existence. I mean, fucking animals, dude. A dog is more important than you. More important than you'll ever be. Little baby pissing and shitting and screaming. It's more important than you'll ever be. A little baby being raised up into a world where there's not going to be any opportunity, no potential. Just going to be sucked of everything that it has. And when it decides to become more reclusive, when it decides to loaf around, because again, what's the point? The efforts ain't panning out, they're not bearing any fruit. When it decides to do that, it's going to be strung up and gaslit like never before. I mean, I'm getting tired of it, dude. Straight up getting tired of it. People out of one side of the mouth will talk about the issues, and I'm talking about people in just regular day-to-day. But then on the other side of the mouth, they'll be like, well, there's still things you can do. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. I've looked into Alaskan fishing. I've looked into working on the railroad. Looked into getting my CDL and becoming a trucker. It all sucks. It's all shit. Okay, looked into being a lineman. Looked into the merchant mariners. 70 plus hours a week. Non-negotiable. Indebted. No job security. Looked at by everyone at all times, right? Micromanaged to all hell. Who wants to live a life like that, man? I couldn't do it for a month. I couldn't last a month in one of these factories. Because I get in there, I'm told I have a job, all of a sudden the job doesn't exist, and I'm being put doing, medial tasks, and I get that done so quickly because I'm not dicking off, and all of a sudden I get told the rest of my shift, well, there's nothing for you to do. Well, what about the job I got hired on for? Oh, well, it's the machine's broken, got to wait some time, so we're going to need you to look busy. What does this entail, sir? What does this entail, look busy? Hands me a broom and tells me to sweep up the whole shop, or the whole factory, really. And then to take a rag and equipment that's constantly oozing grease, and there's constantly dirt and particles just flying through the air. He tells me to, wipe this equipment down, that in about an hour we'll be completely covered in filth again. An exercise in futility. Most of these jobs are that. And then you're surrounded by the most mediocre, the most, debased of mind. the most, scatterbrained, anxiety-inducing, vermin. This is who you're working with. This is who you have to rub shoulders with. And you're telling me, oh yeah, you can't use substances. You must be sober. How? I don't know how you do it. I couldn't do it. I get doped up on the job, bro. I never thought I'd be doing that. I never thought I'd be taking some puffs, some chiefs on my breaks. Come back with, some red eyes and smelling a little funny. Never thought I'd be having to do that to get through the day. Because it's not even the job that's the problem. It's the people. Quite literally, it's a babysitting center. This is life. There is no solution. There is no way out outside of an individualistic one that can only come about through acceptance. Through a full analyzing of your situation. Through an analyzing of all the things in your life that are going wrong and knowing there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, there's a weight that's lifted from that. I'm being dead ass. Being dead ass. And you can reflect on times when it was worse and you got through it. Not that that's helpful, but when you live a day-to-day existence or an hour-to-hour existence and you've got no ability to foresee the future or plan. There's no money in your pocket to do anything with. You're unwilling to, shackle yourself to debt. And whatever that may entail in the coming years, quite honestly, because I don't think this debt's gonna just be forgiven. I really don't. A lot of people are talking about the debt max, and I don't think it's just something that can be forgiven. Maybe it'll be forgiven for the chosen few, the people that will, make it out of this reset of sorts. But with the reset coming, I don't believe anyone with debt, anyone that's got a criminal record, anyone that's got a spotty mental history, I don't think they're going to be allowed to make it forward, right? We got people talking about eugenics, all these eugenicists out there. I believe that the direction of this country is already eugenic, but they're not looking. It's not going to be something they proclaim. You just look at what's happening. It's very obvious that if certain things are passed into law and legislated and enforced, more importantly, that you, me, anyone else in this community, a lot of the other excess in the world, running amok, rotting in the room, whatever, not paired up, not subservient, not goyim cattle per se, that these people will be done away with. However that looks. I don't know how it's gonna be done, but until that time, which could be in a few years, could be decades down the road. Until that time, you've got a choice to make. I have a choice to make every single day. Find a way to cope. Accept your reality for what it is. Know things aren't going to change. Try to see the good, what little good there is, or rope.
Happy. I'm not searching for happiness. I'm searching for peace. If there's happiness, there is sadness. If something can rise, something must fall. If you can attain something, there's something to lose. That's why it's difficult. That's why I stopped a moment. I don't know what type of happiness you mean. Being satisfied with where I'm standing, yes. Does it mean that I don't have hard moments? I have hard moments. And that's why for me, what is it I ultimately look for? I would call it's just peace.